up, Panther Nation? As free agency comes around and the underwear Olympics came and went, there's a bit of speculation as to what the Panthers will do to bring our team over the edge. After an 11-5 season, there were more than a few spots that, if upgraded, could make our year last a smidge longer. Luckily for us, our window of contention is about as open as the Browns trade talk. Seriously? 4 trades in 24 hours? John Dorsey is clearing house. I hear they're trading their fan base for an undisclosed draft pick. If they can pass a physical, that is. Spoiler alert, they can't. As with our general manager, he's Marty Hurney. But he kicked off his second stint with a bang, trading the underwhelming Daryl Worley for veteran speedster Torrey Smith. We have been clamoring for speed, and we do have young rising corners. Not to mention newly acquired Bashaud Breeland, 2-time member of the All-Alliteration team. So this was a great trade, right? Not exactly. Torrey Smith is in a similar build to Ted Ginn. That's in size, speed, and most notably, consistency. He's not going to be the number 2 guy we've been looking for, but we might not need him to be. Let's face it, Daryl Worley's a bit of a liability on the field, and lost a lot of playing time to Keevon Seymour last season. Essentially, he became obsolete, kind of like your old MySpace account. It still works, but there are better options out there. And snagging someone like Torrey Smith gives us a utility guy who could stretch the field and spread the defense, making everyone better along the way. Not to mention bringing a much-needed veteran presence in the receiving room that we haven't seen since his mentor, good old Agent 89. If the trade ended right there, I would not be mad. Unfortunately though, trades aren't just player for player. They're also contract for contract, and Smith's was a hefty one. He signed a 3-year, $15 million contract with the Eagles, us now inheriting his $5 million cap hit, whereas Daryl Worley, still in the 3rd year of his rookie deal, put us short about $700,000. But to make matters worse, word on the street is the Eagles were planning on cutting ties with Smith well before the trade. If we would have signed him as a free agent, he almost certainly would cost less than his $5 million price tag. So while we did bring in some speed in return for a struggling DB, it just didn't make much sense at the cost. Especially considering we cut Kurt Coleman and Jonathan Stewart to clear cap space, both of which would cost less than the veteran receiver. Good addition, not so good price. But we are not done. Not by any means. There are still key positions that need an upgrade if we want to set our sights for Super Bowl 53. The Brothers Blue presents 3 all-season additions needed to bring the Lombardi to Carolina. And our first edition is actually something we were just talking about. Not to mention something fans have been screaming about at their television sets all season. Key addition number 1. A starting receiver with wheels. Now, as I mentioned before, Torrey Smith is more of a puzzle piece than an immediate contributor. He's shown the show-stopping speed of a Julio Jones with the rock-solid hands of a young Brandon LaFell. Unfortunately, in the NFL, having hands of steel can pose a bit of a problem. He's not bad, but he's not the answer. We had such a need for speed all throughout last year, which was part of the reason we traded Kelvin Benjamin for a 3rd-round pick, whereas he still thinks he's on a quest to find the world's best buffalo wing. While Curtis Samuel and Damiere Byrd do offer some promise, we can't be in the position we were in last year against the Saints and still expect to win. We need complete receivers who can get separation and happen to have speed. Not just athletes, football players. This free agent class had some higher end answers who could have come in right away and rejuvenate our offense, like former top 5 pick Sammy Watkins, and mid-tier guys who could start opposite Funchess and be an immediate upgrade, like former 1,400-yarder Allen Robinson. But let me give you a dose of realism here. We never had the money to sign any of those guys. I mean, did you see Sammy Watkins' deal? Could have paid for OBJ's legal fees for that dough. Too soon? No, we have to take a shot at the cheaper boomer bust projects. Ones that have the upside to be a real threat, like Paul Richardson or Dante Moncrief. Whatever the case may be, definitely look for Hurney to pull the trigger on at least 1 free agent receiver. And hopefully an additional draft pick. Alas, Cam will be pleased. But moving on to the other side of the ball. Key addition number 2. A ball-hawking safety. Last year was not pretty for our safeties and coverage. About as pretty as Harvey Weinstein, actually. Free safety Kurt Coleman was a shell of his former self, which led to teams abusing us with big plays despite us stopping them in the run game. A far cry from the 2015 season that saw the Coleman snag an NFL-high 7 interceptions. Especially with our inconsistent coverage on the outside, see Worley, Daryl. It's imperative to sign a free agent or draft pick to get us some help over the top. Unfortunately, the free agent class isn't especially deep at safety and it may cost a bit depending on the demand. Former 49er Eric Reed is someone worth taking a shot at. He's been strong in coverage and still has plenty of room to grow at 26 years old. Saints Kenny Vaccaro may also be someone to take a look at, though he's been pretty inconsistent after a groin injury last year. I think the best course forward is to draft a young ball hawk with upside. With the heavy hitters like Derwin James and Minka Fitzpatrick long gone before our pick, we may have to take a good hard look at someone like Ronnie Harrison. He's a young, prototypical safety with the power to stop the run and the athleticism to help out in coverage. Could be a home run for the Panthers, especially with increasingly athletic tight ends and dual threat running backs. I'm looking at you, Alvin. You and all your chipmunks. Nothing but trouble. Let's make this safety pick happen. And last, but certainly not least, we have key addition number 3, a bowling ball running back. It really is the end of an era. Ryan Khalil, Thomas Davis, and Julius Peppers are likely heading into their last respective years as a pro. Charles Big Money Johnson and Jonathan Stewart have already reached the end of the road, with Stewart leaving a bowling ball-sized hole behind him, one that we desperately have to replace. Our offense relies heavily on the power run game, and without it, things can get pretty bad pretty fast. Like 4-12 bad. Like Ron Rivera's out of here bad. Like the city of Charlotte spontaneously combusts bad. You get the point. Luckily for us, the emergence of Christian McCaffrey means that we don't necessarily need an every down superstar. Just someone with power. The kind that no one man should have all that of. No one man should have all that power. Who can come in and give Cam a nice option on short yardage down. Someone who can wear defense out with physicality. This is a ridiculously deep draft at the running back position. Not super top heavy after Saquon Barkley, but filled with value in rounds 2 to 5. I would be shocked if we didn't snag a power back in one of those rounds. LSU's Darius Geis would be a match made in bowling ball heaven. But if he doesn't fall to us, we have plenty of options with upside. If all else fails, we could bring in a free agent like Carlos Hyde at a higher price. But it's safe to say that our running back depth chart in the fall will look nothing like it does right now. Ball's in your court, Marty Hurney. Well, that is all we have for you today, Panther Nation. If you like our videos, let us know by liking, subscribing, and sharing. Seriously, let us know. And hit us in the comments with the kind of content you'd like to see us do. I mean, from here, we can go into the draft, player reflection, the state of the NFL. It's really up to you guys. You guys are what makes this channel what it is, and without it, well, there's no channel. So hit us in the comments, tell us what you love, tell us what you can do without it, and let us know what you want to see. I'm counting on you, young grasshopper. I will see your beautiful faces soon. Stay blue, my friends.
I'm a boss like Bowser. Did it for my bro like Alja. Did it in a row like Alja. That's nostalgia. Did it without ya. Did it without ya.